Perfect. I remembered. I have someone here. I was like, remind me to do this because I will forget, but I remembered. Okay. So welcome. First of all, I just want to express immense gratitude to everybody that signed up for this. This is my first time doing group quantum weaving. And this whole thing with quantum weaving, which I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. We're not going to blindly dive into this, and you're not going to listen to me talk about a bunch of stuff that you have no idea. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But quantum weaving is relatively new, even for me. It is something that I have been in the process of kind of uncovering, tapping into for about, it's probably been about a year and a half, maybe a little bit over that now. And it's essentially just a synthesis of all of the different indigenous practices that I have come across, of some remembrances from past lifetimes using Arcturian technologies and such. And it is what I like to call, like I said, a synthesis of a new type of magic. And when I say new, it's really just a new perspective. We're not doing anything that hasn't been done before. It's just that we are bringing together different types of energy work under a new perspective. And it's very freeing. I think that's my favorite thing about this so far, is that it is a very freeing practice. Instead of being ruled by ancient traditions that say you have to do this, you can't stray from this, you can't mix those two things together, these deities don't like to work with one another. I have not encountered that. I have had deities that were like, I'm sorry, you and me just don't mesh well. But I have not had any of the entities, and you don't even have to work with deities. I bring that up because it's part of my practice. But the focus of this work is on you, the reality architect. It is about discovering your truth, your authenticity, so that you can create a practice that best aligns with you. So today we are going to be doing a quantum weaving that is meant to create an open contact experience for us, and also to usher us into that era of coexistence with the aliens. I call them star beings. That's how you're going to hear me refer to them. But before we do that, I wanted to kind of talk really quick about what quantum weaving is and what we're doing in this process, so that you, my fellow practitioners who are also feeding energy into this quantum weaving, are on the same page with me. So there's 3 different terms you're going to hear me say during this session. And the first one is reality architect. So the reality architect is the practitioner. They are the quantum weaver. They are, essentially, they are the one who feels led to create a specific desired reality experience. And that could be a personal experience. It could be collective. It could be internal. It could be external. It's whatever that desire is. They do this. They seek this experience through ritual, intention, awareness, and vibrational alignment. And other names for a practitioner like this, the ones that you've heard before, are like witch, shaman, bruja. And then we have quantum weaving is the next one. Quantum weaving is the practice of interfacing with what I call the quantum fiber of the universe. And that's our third one we're going to talk about in a minute, to create said desired reality. This happens when the reality architect resonates with the experience that they are wanting to create. Oh, hold on just a minute. I had someone jump in. Sorry. Okay. This happens when the reality architect aligns with the vibrational frequency of the intended experience that they're wanting to create. And then the quantum fiber mirrors that vibrational frequency. Once that happens, the energetic alignment occurs, and then that creates the shift of the external reality. And a lot of what you're saying is going to sound familiar because it is stuff that has been talked about within manifestation and spell work, which is another term for quantum weaving. And the reason that I came up with these other terms, new verbiage, is because I wanted something that wasn't already loaded with energy, that when people heard it, it didn't have some sort of concept attached to it already. It was something that you could create for yourself. Okay. And then the last term that we're going to talk about is quantum fiber. So the quantum fiber is the energetic composition of everything within the universe. That's physical objects, people, emotions, star systems, even time contains the quantum fiber. It is consciousness because it is the universe, and it is a neutral force. So it is also very impressionable, which is why we as reality architects are able to work with it. And so when we bring that vibrational frequency of what we're wanting to experience within our reality into the weaving, the quantum fiber resonates with it and then mirrors it. And then we begin the process of creating that energetic shift, which then creates the physical shift. Okay. And I know this is a lot. This is a lot of like information that I'm just kind of like packing on you right here at the very beginning. But this is kind of the work that we're going to be doing within this space. So this is our community altar, and my guides, like 2 days before we jumped into this session, were like, oh, hey, by the way, you need a community altar that we're going to be doing these quantum weaving sessions on moving forward. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll get it for next time. And they were like, no, we're going to do it this time. So I went to the thrift store yesterday, and my son and I found this it was so aligned. We found this within like 3 minutes of being there. And it was like I walked past like 4 or 5 of them and didn't even notice that they were there. I just walked straight to this and found this for us. It will evolve as we do different types of work. Right now, it has stuff on it that I felt led to put on here. So I've got celestite and labradorite to align us to those more galactic cosmic frequencies. And then I have petrified wood and a Loch Lomond quartz from Scotland to align us with more of the earth realm vibe. Okay. And then I personally always like bringing a black crystal into any kind of quantum weaving that I do, because I feel like, especially when you're doing public sessions like this, there's always the possibility that someone could try to hinder or slow down the process, because it is widely known that it's happening. And so I always like to bring some black crystal in here with me just to provide some protection for the energy work that we're doing. Okay. All right. So before we jump into how we're going to do the actual weaving, does anyone have any questions about anything? Because I know I just slammed you with a ton of information. Okay. So let me just say this before we dive in. What we are going to be doing, how all of this relates specifically to our work this evening, is that we are going to be working with vibrational frequencies. That is the modality of the reality architect of quantum weaving. You, the reality architect, me, the reality architect, we resonate with the experience that we are wanting to have. And then we communicate, interface that experience, that vibrational frequency with the quantum fiber. And then we create that shift. So today, these are our tools that we're using in our weaving. So we have green cord to represent the green, or the timeline of collective humanity, and a green candle to represent the actual collective of humanity. And then we have a blue cord to represent the cosmic timeline, and then the candle to represent the cosmic humanity, or the cosmic collective, excuse me. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be calling star beings. We're going to be calling Mother Gaia into this space to help us align these frequencies. And I am going to be walking you through the process of actually doing the weaving. So I have some verbiage that I'm going to use that I'll say out loud. And if everyone could just, it looks like everyone is muted, but if everyone could just keep their microphones turned off, and I'm going to get you guys to say everything that I'm saying out loud. I'm going to get you guys to really feel into the frequency that we are trying to create through this work. And we are going to, together, all of us, resonate with that frequency of open contact, of coexistence with the aliens, with the star beings, so that we can create that experience collectively for humanity. And I know one of the things that they shared with me before coming into the session is that this may also create some experiences, some contact experiences of some kind for some of the people in this group. So that was really cool as well. And if that happens, you have to tell me about it. I want to know. I am telling you now. Send me an email. Stalk me until you find my phone number. I don't care how you do it. Get in contact with me. I want to know about it because that is cool as all get out. All right. So let's go ahead. And we're going to start out. I want everyone just to kind of find a really comfortable position for yourself. Take some deep breaths, close your eyes. We're just going to go into kind of a light meditative state to start us off. Now, the easiest way to interact with the quantum fiber, with universal source energy, and that's what we're talking about when we say quantum fiber, is to pull your consciousness fully into the present moment. Everything exists within the present moment. So I want you to just kind of do a body scan, pull your consciousness down to your feet, into your body. Be here in this moment. Go ahead and ground in if you haven't already. Just imagine those roots coming out of the soles of your feet, all the way down into the core of Mother Gaia. And then we're going to do what I call skying. It's the opposite of that. You're going to imagine that there are branches coming out of your crown chakra at the top of your head, reaching all the way up into the cosmos as far as you can go. Perfect. All right. So we're going to start off by connecting into Mother Gaia. And I am going to wrap our green cord around our candle. I feel like this better represents the separation of our timelines, but also our connectedness to this timeline as a collective. All right. I'm going to say a little invitation out loud for her, and you're welcome to repeat after me, or if you would like to invite her into your space in your own way. But we are going to invite her here and have her charge this cord and this candle to her frequency. We invite you, Mother Gaia, here into this space with us. We ask that you would attune the vibrational frequency of this cord to that of the collective earth timeline. We ask that you would attune this candle to the vibrational frequency of the collective of Earth realm. Right. And now we're going to do the same thing for the star beings. And if you know specific star beings that you work with, that you would like to invite into this space, feel free to do so. Again, however you feel most aligned with doing this. We invite you here, our star being family. That you would assist us in this quantum weaving. We ask that you would attune this cord to the vibrational frequency of your collective timeline. We ask that you would attune this candle to the vibrational frequency of your cosmic collective. All right. So now I am unwinding the cords from the candles. And as I do this, I want you to imagine the blue and the green thread. And I want you to really tune in to what they are, to what they represent, to the frequencies that they hold. The blue to the cosmic collective, to the star beings. The green to us, collective humanity. And repeat after me. We unify these timelines. We join together their frequencies, that they would deeply resonate with one another. To represent this within the weaving, I have twisted the cords together to form one cord. Now we're going to take our candles and we're going to wrap the cord around them. And as we do this, I want you to repeat after me. We bring together the cosmic collective and the collective of Earth Realm. That they may join together in unity, in love, that they may experience a unified reality. All right. Now I am going to just melt the bottom of these candles so I can stand them up on our tray. Give me just a moment. All right. So now this is the final step. I am a huge fan of calling in the elements to help us with the quantum weaving work that we do, the creation of reality, because I feel that all of nature, everything wants for us to experience that unified reality with all of the other beings that exist within the universe. So we're going to call in Brother Fire, and we are going to ask him to transmute this illusion of separation that we experience with our star being family. Because that's all it is illusion. As I do this, repeat after me. We ask you, Brother Fire, burn away the illusion of separation between our timelines, between our dimensions, between our collectives. That we may live together in peaceful, loving coexistence. As one collective within this universe. All right, so now we're just going to let those candles burn down. And you don't have to stay on the call until that stops, because that could take a little bit. But I'm going to leave them here on our collective altar, and I'm going to let them burn down. And I'm going to take videos of that happening, which I will post for you guys to kind of see. There's a lot that can be gleaned from the way the candles burn down, from the way the flames look. And actually right now, these candles are looking really big, or like the flame on both of these candles is really steady and it's got some good height to it. So this was definitely a lot of really good energy that we fed into this quantum weaving. So before we end, let's go in and just thank everybody that helped us with this. I feel one of the most important practices that we can do after a quantum weaving is to make sure that we are expressing gratitude for all energies that assist us in the weaving. We thank you, star beings, for assisting us in creating this experience of coexistence with you and your collectives. We thank you, Mother Gaia, for your support and assistance. In the creation of this experience of unity and love. And we thank you, Brother Fire, for assisting us in transmuting all that kept us from this experience of unity, love, and peace. With our cosmic family. And just sit here for a moment. Take some deep breaths. And we're going to do one more thing before we close out. I want you to really feel deeply into what we are trying to create. I want you to envision the candles burning separately and then melting together as one. I want you to envision the experience of our collective humanity coming together with the cosmic collective. And I want you to let it resonate deeply within your heart space. Our lower 3 chakras are very deeply connected to our physical earth experience. Our upper 3 chakras are very connected to our spiritual, non-physical experience. But our heart chakra, that's where both of those energies come together to create our physical reality experience. And when we do a weaving, it resonates in that space. So I want you to open the heart space. I want you to breathe deeply into that chakra. And I want you to allow that frequency to resonate within that chamber. And as you do that, we're going to say 3 times the 2 things that we are manifesting. We'll start with the first one. We are experiencing open contact in the imminent future. We are experiencing open contact in the imminent future. We are experiencing open contact in the imminent future. And we're going to do the same thing for coexistence. We live in peaceful coexistence with our star being siblings. We live in peaceful coexistence with our star being siblings. We live in peaceful coexistence with our star being siblings. Just take a few deep breaths. That moment right there where you felt that in your heart space, where you dialed into that vibrational frequency, that was the moment of interface with the quantum fiber. That was the moment that we created the frequency, and then it was mirrored within the energetic realm. All of this was to help us tune into that frequency. And when you're ready, you can come back, open your eyes, move around a little bit. How are we feeling? Did anybody have any experiences with anything?
Yes.
I had a cool experience with a visual, but wait, who just said yes?
No, Kylie, you
Tegan,
go
you
first.
talk first.
No, Kylie, you go first.
No, you.
I was just okay. All that came through for me was like not all that came through. It was like there was Earth and like the version of Earth that we are currently on, but then it was like a parallel experience of Earth that is already happening simultaneously. Like there is a parallel version of Earth where open contact has already taken place. And so when we were doing the weaving, it was like both Earths were kind of like shadowed on top of one another, but as we weaved them together, they became like one globe. It was very
that's
interesting.
cool. That's super cool, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw something pretty cool too. There's a place in South Africa, in Cape Town, like kind of at the tip of the continent, where 2 oceans meet, the Pacific and the Atlantic. And they're actually like 2 different colors. And if you stand at what's called Lion's Head, you can see the 2 different colors of the ocean. And while this was happening, and my eyes were closed, I could see the colors of the oceans, and they were like raging together, like almost waves clashing and like colliding. And then suddenly it all just became light, and it was like a teal colored, like a bluish green, and there was no longer like distinction in the oceans. And I got the sense that like the illusion was being broken through this experience. And then I almost got like sucked up to view it from a higher perspective. And I saw like a waving field above Earth and like pores starting to form.
Oh,
I
that's
guess
so
like
cool.
holes in the veil,
Yeah.
which was cool.
And what's interesting about that is that when I was writing this spell, my initial intention was for more of a timeline shift, like what Tegan was picking up on. And they were like, it's not just going to be a shift. You guys are already experiencing contact. They are here. Like that is happening. People take videos of it every single day. But it's the illusion of separation that causes the vast majority of the collective to not be able to experience that. And so that was like it was a caveat that they added at the very end, was like, hey, you need to work on breaking that illusion. So I love that you tapped into that specifically to see that as your visualization. That's really awesome. Did anybody else experience anything at all? Sometimes I leave a weaving and I'm like, whoa, like, did that even work? Like, I didn't feel anything from it. And then sometimes I leave and well, our candles are going nuts. Yeah.
I felt a lot of energy in my third eye a whole bunch of times. It just felt like they were like yanking stuff around. I don't know.
No, yeah. And what's interesting about that is that I experienced the quantum fiber connecting to it. Dang, this thing is going nuts, man. I experience the quantum fiber when I connect to it as being almost like a pool. Like for me, it's almost like when you step underneath a waterfall and like you can, if it's not too big of a waterfall, you can still stand up, but you still feel like that push down onto the ground from the gravity of the water. And so that to me, like what you're talking about, that reminds me of my personal physical experience with that. Cool.
When you lit the fire behind you,
Mm-hmm.
in my vision, I saw like the globe with like Native American like weaving over it, but like expanding out into the galaxy. And then I heard like people like dancing and clapping and partying, and like it was like the angels like were dancing. It was like a huge party disco.
I just got like full body chills when you said that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I love that you bring that. Indigenous practices were a huge inspiration for me for naming this quantum weaving, because the idea of creating reality has been, there's the work of the vulva, which are the practitioners of satyr magic within Norse traditions, and satyr literally means the weaving of reality. And then you have like, I believe it's I've got ash floating. I believe it's the Hopi tradition, which they actually like their magic, their shamanism that they do is actually attributed to weaving and the weaving of reality. And we are in a time right now where there's a lot of talk about like Hopi mythology and all of the different, yeah, it's in my house. I burn stuff like this in my house regularly. I actually have my fire alarm sitting without batteries in it over on my bookshelf because my husband had to take it down. I was like, you have to take it down. It's going to start beeping again, and I'm going to be on a call, and it's going to be so bad. But we have a lot of talk of like the Hopi right now, because there's been so many of the prophetic signs and symbols that have popped up, and we have, a lot of people are attributing the blue star Kachina to Three-Eye Atlas right now. And when I heard that, I almost like burst into tears, because I truly think that is what Three-Eye Atlas is meant to be, is the blue star Kachina. So I can't hear you. Okay. So yeah, I think it's very interesting that came up. I think that's why I got full body resonance from that. But this is done. I was not expecting like this is done. There is no candle left. It's literally just burning cord at this point. It's just like a splash of wax at this point. So one of the things that I really like to do with my weaving, and this is just a personal preference, but I really like to use the way that the candles burn down as kind of a definitive way of kind of assessing how the weaving went. And I'm just gonna tell you, I think it went well because that bitch is gone. She's a damn puddle of wax at this point. So and honestly, one of the things I was paying attention to, that's why I kept looking back at it. I'm not worried about it. I keep looking back at it because I wanted to know when the candles joined together. Because that, for me, is very symbolic of not just the open contact experience, because one of the things that they have shared with me is that there's going to be open contact and then they're actually going to depart for a time because collective humanity is going to just lose its shit for a little bit. And they're going to be like, all right, so we're going to let you guys deal. And we're going to go back up in the sky and chill for a little bit. Let us know when you're ready for us. And, when things have kind of cooled back down, they'll come back. And that's when we will go into this period of very peaceful coexistence with these beings. And so I was curious when that would happen. And it was, honestly, it was way sooner in the candle burning than I expected for it to be. In most of these, when I have the bonding ceremony is what I call this, it's like halfway down the candles usually come together, but we're talking like a quarter of the way down we were good. So we done good, guys.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
One is I signed up for this really late at a friend's recommendation, and I am just unexpectedly surprised by how many people I recognize, how many people I know from like other situations, but also just like from social media. And I was wondering if anyone knows how we're all related and why I feel like I just like I know everyone. You know what I mean? Soul family definitely is the word, but does anyone know what ties us all together?
As probably, Tegan is probably one of the people because she's got a pretty large following on social media and she boosted this for me several times. But yeah, Tegan and I found each other about a year ago. Is that right? Yeah, I think it actually is a year ago. That's when we started our Discord server. That was like our first thing together was Discord.
Weird.
I would love to be a member of. I have many Discords, but I don't have any. All my Discords are nerdy. They're not related to Awakening yet, so I could use one.
I will say we have sort of let that Discord server slip through the cracks.
Discord has kind of fallen by the wayside.
I have a toddler who became a toddler within that period. And so that kind of took me away from it. And T's got a lot of stuff going on as well. And so, but we do each have, that is something that I'm wanting to get back into, is getting people more like amped up about a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, because I feel like we are entering into a new, very energetically palpable phase of the shift that we've been experiencing for a while. And I feel like people are going to need support.
I feel like we're going to be meeting. I feel like I'm starting to feel like it's going to be like more like we're meeting in person. I feel like everything's going to become more physical. I feel like, I don't know. That's just my...
No, I agree with that. And I think it's going to be, I think we're moving in the direction of community-based practice. And I watched a video that popped up on my For You, because I will admit community is not something that I have felt called to until like the past year. And so that's not something I've tapped into a whole lot. Until very recently, when I felt called to create my own community through this practice. But saw a video the other day of a woman talking about community, and she was like, I was kind of the understanding that it was going to be like everybody moving out to farms, and we all like live on like a big farm commune together. And they were like, you can do it that way if you want to, like that's totally feasible. But they were like, they told her something that my guides have been telling me for a long time. And that is that like humanity needs to think about moving into this 5D experience in a much more grounded way. They were like, look around at the apartment complex that you're in right now, or the neighborhood that you're in right now. Like that is going to be your community. And that's why a lot of us are feeling called to move to different locations. And this is something that Tay has talked about a lot as well, because she has been tapping into, she has a lot of like energy work with ley lines, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because that is her field and I don't do anything with it at all. So go find her. It's a little tap for Tay. But essentially a lot of us are being called to go to the places that we are energetically attuned to. Like we come here being in direct resonance with a specific location. And that's why like some people, you may like be born and raised in one location, but then you visit this other place and it's like home for your soul. And that's why a lot of us are feeling called to those locations, because it's where our soul family is. It's where our community that we're supposed to be building with other people exists, or at least is going to exist in the very near future. Huh?
Sorry, I'm just no. Everything's. I agree with everything you're saying. It's awesome, and this is great. I love the fire is still blazing hard, so this is amazing. Great session, definitely, and the energies are super high over here in Hawaii. By the way, I'm sure they're everywhere, but it's freaking nuts.
I mean, you're on Gaia's heart chakra. Yeah, I would assume that the energy is just absolutely insane in the best of ways most of the time.
Yeah. You mentioned Hopi, and I was like, I looked at Meredith. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, we had a friend of ours channel Hopi, and just a lot of that communication. So yes, pretty freaking wild.
Yeah, it's I'm so stoked about it. And it's another thing that has been coming in really heavily for me that has been really resonant is there are a lot of white animals that have been popping up. And it's not just like, I think a lot of people in America, again, know about the Hopi prophecy of the white buffalo and the white buffalo woman. And how she had, she said, I am going to be coming back. Oh my God, I'm getting full body resonance again. Oh my gosh. But there are other, like there was a white eagle. Oh, do not quote me on
Raven,
that.
the white
Was
raven.
it a white raven? Thank you. I knew it was a bird.
Really creepy. It's one of those things where you can't convince yourself you've seen it before. You know what I mean? I feel like the other ones I feel like, oh, maybe I've just never seen a white whatever. But the white raven is like literally looks like it shouldn't exist.
Yes. And then there was a white stag in Scotland. And the white stag is actually really heavily connected to the Fae. And this was not an albino stag. Albino animals have red eyes, along with the white coat. But this was like brown eyes, normal stag, completely lacking melanin in the rest of its body. And they are heavily connected to the presence of the Fae. And so a lot of people are thinking that this was a sign from the Fae. Oh, there we go. She gone. This was a sign from the Fae, essentially just signaling their return. And my thing is all of these things separately, I could convince myself, oh, it's just a coincidence. But all of this has happened in like 2 fucking years. Like that is absolutely insane. That is insane to me. I I truly feel that 2026 and 2027 are going to be, I can't even think of the verbiage to describe it. I think it is going to be the year that the matrix paradigm falls apart for everyone. And I think different people are going to have reactions to that. I think some people are, I had a dream about this. Oh, thank you guys. I had a dream about this. I had a dream that the matrix fell apart and I was at somebody's house, no idea who it was. And I walked outside and I could see Faye talking to me and I was like, yo, what's happening? And they were like, the great solar flash happened and now everybody can see everything. And I got to see everybody's reactions to this. And there were church groups that were huddling in their churches, gathering food because they thought that it was revelation and they got left and they were all gathering together and freaking out. There were people that were just kind of like, fuck it. I'm here. I'm going to drink. It's the end of the world kind of a thing. And then there were others of us, people that we know who were expecting this to happen that were very much just excited and celebrating and having a party and just very in divine knowing that we've been expecting this for a very long time.
Love that dream.
And I could see starships in the sky. I could see cryptids coming out of the forest. I woke up and I'm pretty sure I text Tay and I was like, dude, I just had the best dream. And I was just super stoked about it. But that is what I feel like our experience with this is going to be. And I very much feel that it is going to happen in 2026, 2027.
Fuck yeah.
And I also think that open contact is going to coincide with that because in the dream I saw a congregation of just almost like a group of UFOs that were coming together, and they were doing this in a bunch of different locations. I don't think that open contact is going to be one ship over one location. I think it's going to be every single country in the world involved in this process. Because I don't think that they're going to come here and be like, oh, the United States is where we want to land, or, oh, the UK. I think it's going to be we want to connect with all of you because it's supposed to be an experience that creates unity.
Isla told me through my guides that, because I don't hear them. I don't allow myself to hear them quite directly in the way that I should. Anyway, but she told me that I, for some reason, am going to be one of the first people who interacts with them physically on this third dimension, which I thought was interesting. But the way that she said it would happen, I mean, maybe she can explain it even better than I can because she was the one who saw it visually. But was that we would kind of just it would just kind of be like we hit a vibration and we can literally just see them all at once. It won't happen. And it's not going to happen, I don't think, in the sky. I think it's going to happen within us, and then it'll just become one day we'll be like, oh, we can all see them. And then, I think it'll come in increments where people can see them physically. But at least, I don't know, Tegan and Kyla probably have way more information about that than I do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I like how you say we kind of, that's how I see it as well, is it's we'll just kind of almost vibrate. I think that they will almost shimmer into our reality. And it's not that they're changing, it's that we are upgrading to meet that frequency and be able to perceive it. I'm creating a class around this quantum weaving stuff. And one of the things that I was looking up the other day was about how much of the visible light spectrum humans can actually see, and I don't even think it's 1%. It is just the absolute teeny tiniest amount. And that's why when I have people that are kind of look at me and they're like, well, I've never seen anything like that before, and I'm like, I'm sure there are a lot of things that we've never seen before because we can't really see very well as human beings. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. And if you have that experience as a result of this quantum weaving, please let me know. Because oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I could definitely attest to that. It's already happening since I've been living with David. I've actually witnessed. He's very close with them, and there was a moment in time when I was sleeping. I was told to wake up, and I was just listening outside, and I literally like something landed on the roof, and then like David got thrown into the window, and then right afterwards it was super silent, and I hear David go, "Oh my God." And he got up, walked into the kitchen and blew his nose. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, and David's been living alone, but since I've been around, I've been able to witness a lot more things. So it's definitely, it's begun for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and you were channeling them and talking to them, right?
Yeah.
And so it was a rare thing that I woke up, my nose was runny, and I was just like, and it's runny, and it was like gushing. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, what's going on? And I didn't know till the next day. She told me that she was all kinds of hurt stuff on the roof and blah, blah, blah. And she was channeling them and lights. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
noises,
so,
like weird noises.
Did you not remember being thrown into the window?
No, of course not. No, I just remember having a runny nose, and I don't get a lot of colds and stuff, and I'm just like, and I do a lot of meditation, and I've had other experiences, so it's just like
the fact that the only reason anyone knows this happened is because she's staying with you is really funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, this probably happened before, and you're just like, I was just
you just like
you need a Nest cam, bro.
Around your apartment when no one else is around, and you just don't remember it. That's literally such
totally good. I'm good with it, and I said to them, I'm like, look, I'm just gonna be, get in my ship, because that's probably where I'm going anyway. It's my ship, and I'll just be cruising around. Be like, yo, Tay, I'll be there in like a half a second. Wham, fly over to Tay's house, and then come back and give anybody a ride anywhere. And I'm like, so no, I'm totally down. It's cool. It's
David,
happening.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you have your spaceship and you can just fly around.
Oh man, it's happening.
In all seriousness, I have been manifesting a spaceship for myself. So you've given me hope that that's gonna. I'm like, I've literally built it out. I'm like, I want a room for both of my kids, and I want a master bathroom, and I need a king size bed, please. Like, I mean, these things are huge. I can have a luxury spaceship. Thank you.
I just wanted to add something quickly. When I channeled that for Rebecca, they were saying it's also hard for us. Like, as much as you need to like ascend in vibration to meet you, we have to like change our consciousness and like demeditate to try and meet you there. And when you were telling your story about being thrown into the window, I'm trying to like see it from an energetic perspective, and they're like, yeah, like we also like we're trying to create some, like we're trying to create an energy here with you, and it's not always gonna be people staying in their beds. Sometimes it's gonna be people hitting the windows, and like yeah. So it's hard for them too.
It's interesting because they gave me the perspective today of like when they try to interact with us. It's a lot like I was talking to Tay about this earlier. When we try to interact with something that's on a different vibrational frequency, we see it a lot in like thermodynamics. Like if you try to throw ice cubes into hot water, they both have to shift in order to meet each other, but that ice cube changes form. It's not just that it raises vibrational frequency, it completely changes form and moves into a different physical state of being. So like it's difficult for everyone involved. I can totally see that. Wild. That is wild. And yeah, I think you need to invest in a Nest cam.
If you guys all start flying across your bedrooms, like we need to have another meeting or something.
Oh, my husband will lose his shit if that happens. I mean, full on. He will be like, "What did you do?" But on a
really
on a
cracks
positive
why
note, he'll
they target those of us that live alone. They just like if something goes wrong, no one's gonna know.
yeah, exactly. There are no witnesses. All right, guys, I have to hop off. Does anyone have any questions about anything or anything of that nature? Any last things that you wish to add?
Thank you.
You're so
Thank you,
welcome.
Chelsea. That was great.
You're so welcome. Seriously, guys, I was not expecting this many people to come. I literally, this whole thing was created because of a session that I did with Tay. She was like, yo, you need to do this. This is the direction that they're pushing you in. And so I got super amped about it and I created it and I was like, cool, I'll do this. Just me and my 5 friends and it'll be amazing. And then 30 people signed up. And I was literally crying in my bathroom. I was going to put makeup on. I was going to look nice. I was like, I'm not going to make it through this thing without crying because I am just so full of gratitude for every single person that signed up and came and participated in this. And I just feel like this is such a worthy thing for us to try to create for the collective. So I am going to be doing this again next month. It is December. And I know that can be a little rough on people's schedules, but it is also Yule. And I feel that the veil during Yule or during the winter solstice is actually a lot thinner than it is during Samhain or Halloween. So I really want to focus on doing a quantum weaving, a big quantum weaving, because we're going to have so much access to the energetic realm on the winter solstice. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to send out a marketing email, hopefully sometime in the next couple of weeks with details and a link so that you guys can go ahead and purchase some tickets. And I am just really stoked to reconnect with you guys. And if you want to come back and do this again, it will be up on YouTube. So you can go through the whole process again. And I think the more energy that we pull into it, the more it will exponentially grow. So thank you so much, guys. I am so grateful to you, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your night.
Right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love y'all.
Bye.